Hey guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today we have another update video in this series where I take you along with me on my collecting journey, trying to grow the Super Nintendo collection. So we do this by actually funding this collection by going out there, finding deals, flipping items, and using that money and putting it back into this collection here. So we left off last week with 234 games, and this week we added quite a few more, so let's go ahead and see what I scored. I actually decided to take a trip out to a video game store that isn't too far away from me, and this place is in Elkton, Maryland. So if you guys are ever in the area or you want to check out another video game store that has quite a bit jam-packed into the store, this place is called Outlaw Video Games. So I definitely had a blast when I went there. The owner is so nice. He definitely helped me out trying to find some of these items. I had bought some previous items on Whatnot when he was hosting that. So I have been adding some amazing titles, and I definitely had to take a trip out to a store. So I really like how everything's kind of laid out. They have different sections of different items. It's on the smaller side, but it is jam-packed with tons of amazing items, as I scored a bunch of games that I had not been seeing anywhere else, and these condition items were definitely great for the collection. So, of course, let's just jump into it. We have quite a few games here. So first up, we added this game right here. This is called Cool World for the Super Nintendo. This is loosely based on the movie that came out in 1992. So this one is more of an adventure game. You kind of go around and you try and avoid getting arrested. So I'm not really too sure all of the specifics about this game, but this has a beautiful label, and I definitely am excited to try out this one and see how this game actually plays. So this one was a fun one to add to the list here. And then we added another game. This one I have been looking for. This beautiful red cartridge game. Of course, Doom. Many people remember this game. This was definitely a staple at the time. This right here was a very important game. I just love this first-person shooter style game. All of these different enemies that you had to go against. I pretty much played this on every single platform growing up. And then, of course, every game that followed in its path. So right here, this is definitely a fun one. Trying to find this game with a rather clean label and this beautiful red cartridge was very difficult in my area, so I'm definitely excited to get this one for a good deal. So this is definitely a great title right here. Definitely probably one of the better ones that I scored in this whole lot here. And this is the second red cartridge that I now have in my Super Nintendo collection. So this is definitely a classic right here. So much fun, so much destruction. Definitely a blast. And then we have this game right here. So this one I didn't really know too much about, even though this is modeled after a TV show around the time. This is Seaquest DSV. So I'm not really too sure, but this one is said to be some sort of strategy, sort of simulation, a real-time simulation style game where you are the captain of the submarine, and of course you have to do all of these different missions. So this one looks very interesting. It's one that's not the cheapest of games, so I'm not really too sure how the simulation game plays, but I always loved those style games back in the day. This one does have a little label on the back here that says American Video Inc. So I wonder what store that used to be back in the day. I just love seeing some of those rental stickers, the different locations that they would have on these game cartridges, and to see them in fairly good shape. Looks like right here it just has a little bit of sticker residue. Should be able to get that off of this game. So then next up we have this Pink Goes to Hollywood. So this is the Pink Panther here. I remember this from back in the day. This one is more of a platforming style game. Definitely thought it was interesting because on the Super Nintendo version, they do pay homage to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So there is a little Honey, I Shrunk the Pink. So there is this little level in here that kind of pays tribute to that. So that is actually really cool. So this one I'm definitely looking forward to trying out a little bit more. This is a classic character back in the day. That theme song definitely got you. So anytime I see this, I definitely start singing that in my head. So this is definitely a fun game. And then we have this game. This one is one of those educational games. This is called Math Blaster Episode 1. So of course, this really hones in on a lot of different math subjects. So we have addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. So pretty much you are preparing for a journey and your ship is not functional. So pretty much you have to go through these different objectives, these different missions, and you pretty much work your way through all of these different problems. It's one of those educational games, but I figured that this one was definitely worth it to try out and see how this game is. Not sure if I actually played this one growing up, but I imagine that a lot of people enjoyed playing video games and having some sort of educational aspect to it. Then on to this one, we have this sports title. I got this for just over $1. So this is Pro Quarterback. So this is one that I did not have in the collection, the sports title. Definitely has a clean label for the price, so I definitely could not beat that. So let me know if this football game is actually any good, if there's anything special about this one compared to the others. And then this one right here, this one looks like a really fun game. So Dennis the Menace, it wasn't quite like Home Alone, but this was definitely a fun one with all of his antics and all of the rebellion and everything else. So pretty much this is a platforming game. Of course you have Mr. Wilson's house is one of the levels in here. Definitely some iconic stuff in here. And pretty much you have to defeat a burglar who's in the neighborhood. So this one looks like a wacky, crazy style game. Definitely one that I can definitely try out and see how this one actually plays. So as I was looking for Super Nintendo games, I noticed that they had quite a bit for every other system. They had some imports, they had tons for every other video game system other than just Nintendo stuff, and they had a bunch of boxed items and some sealed games, just a lot that you don't see every day. So as I was going around, I noticed this little gem right here. This is one that I definitely want to start collecting for getting some of the Nickelodeon games. So this is Nickelodeon's The Rugrats movie. So this one is for the Game Boy Color. I just love this box, how all the Game Boy Color games have this shiny effect to it. Of course, we have everything complete in here, the manual and everything else, with the game cartridge. So this is definitely pretty cool. This is the Rugrats movie, an adventure for anyone who has ever worn diapers. Just as the Rugrats babies are getting ready to play with Tommy's brand new baby brother Dill, he disappears. Join the Rugrats babies as they face scary spiders, escaped circus monkeys, and big boulders in a quest to find and rescue the newest member of the Pickles family. New bonus levels exclusively for the Game Boy Color. So this is very exciting. Definitely excited to cross this one off the list. And then adding some more cartoon-based games. I finally found a copy of the Powerpuff Girls. This is Relish Rampage. So this actually looks like a fun kind of fighting style game where you just run around. It says the Powerpuff Girls are in a real pickle this time. Mojo Jojo, in his bid to become mayor, has accidentally summoned an entire race of mutant pickles to Townsville, and they're taking over. Chaos reigns and the whole city has gone mad. Or is it just plain marinated? It's time for some serious Powerpuff action. Your mission is to take on the bad monkey, Mojo Jojo, and then send those perilous, polluting pickles back home. So you have to fight and destroy a host of enemies and villains, complete over 30 exciting missions, defeat the villains of Townsville and the Pickloids using superpowers, special attacks, fly through the beautifully designed 3D Townsville, and wear dynamo suits that enhance the superpowers. So this one looks like a fun game. Everything was very clean and complete. So this is another one that I'm excited to add to the collection. They even had a whole host of movies, strategy guides, Nintendo powers, and of course this classic right here sealed. We have the Super Mario Brothers on DVD. So if you guys saw, I did pick up the VHS tape recently, went for a full set of the figures here. So this one is definitely one that I'm excited to go back, watch over again, even though it's not the best, but it is very iconic. Then he even threw in some of these items here. We have a couple of these fig pins. We have this Assassin's Creed. We even have this Tekken 7. Then we have this Destiny little figure. So this is definitely pretty cool. And then another item that is not Super Nintendo related, but it's one of the systems that I may want to collect next. So this is for the Sega Dreamcast. This is the Maracas controller. This is Samba de Amigo. So this is actually really cool. It has a couple different maracas in here. It has the little sensor bar that you use. It is has a pretty strong weight to it. So this is definitely pretty cool. Definitely one that I need in the collection. So if you guys are ever in the area, make sure you guys check out Outlaw Video Games. That's where I scored all of these games at and all of these pretty cool items. So I'll definitely kind of pan around some footage of it. But here we are adding more games to the Super Nintendo collection. I have to go ahead and highlight these games off the list here of the ones that I need. We left off with 234. So we added quite a few more games. Definitely have to cross them off the list here by highlighting which ones I have. We left off last week with 234, and now we have 241. So once we get 9 more, we'll be at 250. So let's see if we can do that this upcoming week, add some more titles, and just kind of get this ball rolling on this whole collection here. Are any of these games some of the classics that you definitely recommend and remember from back in the day? Did you like playing Doom? Did you like playing Menace and Menace? Any of these in this little pile here? Just share your memories below, and hopefully I'll get to those games pretty soon. And I'll kind of put those ones ahead of the others in the set, as I'm still going through a lot of the ones that I scored previously. So let me know in the comments below which games I should definitely get now before they go up in price. Just keep me updated. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.